This is what my game looked like in my last video. And this is what my game looks like now after I've updated the color palette. You may wonder why I just decided to create a brand new color palette for my game. I spent like 2 or 3 weeks just picking colors. I know it sounds pretty weird, but yeah, I just wanted to give my game a little bit of personality. And speaking of art, I've been trying to make a little bit of artwork every day. So here are all the new artworks for the cards that I've made. For someone like me who's very bad at art, I think they're good. This is actually my favorite card that I've made. So I asked my friend to help me name this card, and she said Abomination. And I was like, I feel like I'll make some people angry. And she was like, you won't. So if you're mad about it, go spam her Discord. If you want to help me name my cards, come join the Discord. That's right guys, new Discord is out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You can help me design some cards and it's just gonna be a blast, so show up. So first thing I worked on was the pack opening. There's gonna be 4 card rarities. Cards can be common, uncommon, rare, and ultra. For ultra cards, you can only have 1 of each, and for all the other card types, you can have 2 of them. And how it works right now is that each type of pack has these quantities right here. Here you can see you'd get 2 uncommons, 1 common, and 1 rare. If you see right here, we have a card pool, and these are all the cards that you can get from this pack. So for example, if you get a common card, it draws from the common cards that are in this card pool. I know this system is pretty basic, I might make changes to it later, but it works for now. The idea is that here's gonna be sort of a sandbox map where you can go to the shop and find opponents to battle. And then you can open one of these tabs right here, and this lets you open the packs. And yeah, the pack portion is complete. So let's open this. Yeah, there we go. So now we can work on the deck building aspect. Okay, our collection manager is complete. So you can see we have a bunch of cards here that I've already opened. You can filter them by color here. If you click on them, they get added to your deck over here. Automatically sorts the cards by their cost. If you right click on one of these cards, it shows this screen with a flavor text as well and the ability to upgrade the card if you have repeat copies of it. If you hover over them, it tells you what the card does. And just one more thing, I added this little collection progress, so you see that we own 59% of all cards. One small detail is that I made it so cards only show up if I mark them as obtainable over here. If I just enable this, now it's gonna show up in the collection manager. So that's pretty convenient if I want to add cards to the game that the player should not be allowed to use. I could even add special debug cards like Hearthstone has that are kind of useful to test stuff. Now that I'm done with the collection manager, I've actually started working on something I call the dev mode. And in dev mode, I have access to all the cards, even unobtainable cards. And I don't have to follow any deck rules like needing 30 cards, and I can have as much energy as I want. And what I did is for cards that don't have any artwork, I just put this little question mark symbol. That way at least it doesn't look empty. And now here's the cool thing. If we look at our decks folder right here, we have 2 different decks for our enemies. One enemy has a lizard deck and another enemy has the ninjas deck. Now before I made this collection manager, I actually had to edit all these cards manually, but now I can just load them up by clicking this button here, and now whatever changes I make to it will get saved up in the lizards file. So now I should be able to make changes to the enemy deck a lot more easily, which should help me prototype a lot faster. I've been playing Dave the Diver recently, which has this thing where you collect cards of the fish that you've caught. And I noticed that whenever you catch a new fish, it has this new label until you click on it. And I don't know why I didn't remember to do something like that. So yeah, I want to add it to the game. So let's get that done. Okay, I think this should be working. So now if we open a pack, we get 4 new cards here. Now if we move over to the deck, You see all of these are new, and if we just hover over them, the label disappears. And now if we go back to the deck, it should remember that we've already seen these cards, so they don't show up as new. So yeah, that took a while longer than I expected. It's just a small detail, but I think it looks better now. There's just one small little detail that I also want to take care of before we're done, which is for all these locked cards, if I hover over one of them, I want it to show a tooltip that tells me how I can obtain it. Most cards you can just get by opening packs, but some cards you can only get from special events, for example. Alright, so now if you hover over a card you don't have yet, it shows you how you can get it. And yeah, we're done. My goal right now is to release a demo on itch.io by episode 5. This episode we got the pack opening and the collection manager done. And next episode we're gonna tackle the AI. The AI is not gonna be easy because we're gonna have to rebuild the entire game logic, and we're probably gonna have to rewrite everything in a new programming language. But the great thing is once we're done with that, we'll have a fully functioning game. Also, I really want to make a Steam page soon, so I can start getting some wish lists and stuff. But it costs what? $100? $100? Jesus, $100, guys. You know, that's fucking crazy, guys. You know how many $1 bowls of ramen I could buy with that money? It's gotta be at least 50. So yeah, maybe next episode.